Can you believe it? At just 18, Taylor Swift faced a heartbreak. A breakup that lasted only 27 seconds over the phone. Those few fleeting seconds were enough to shatter her heart, to bring tears streaming down her cheeks, to make her inner world feel like it was collapsing. In that painful moment, she felt deep loneliness, overwhelming emptiness, and the fear of being forgotten. But instead of falling apart, Taylor transformed her pain into music, and a song was born, a song that made the world pause, listen, and feel her heartache. Can you imagine that such deep pain could become the force that changed her career and even the music industry? Let's explore the story behind those unforgettable 27 seconds. Today, we will explore the hidden story behind the album Fearless, a journey not only about music but also about the intense emotions of Taylor Swift. From the heartbreak she experienced at 18, after a shocking breakup with Joe Jonas, to the surprising moments on stage and even meeting her idol Justin Timberlake, Taylor transformed her broken heart into an endless source of creative power. This album didn't just elevate her to the pinnacle of country music, it also changed the way the world perceives personal music and genuine emotions. There are moments that will leave you in disbelief. From what seemed like private, personal pain, Taylor wrote songs that resonated with millions of hearts around the world, making listeners cry, empathize, and find strength in her story. At 18, while many girls were worrying about graduation exams and future plans, Taylor Swift faced one of her first heartbreaks. Joe Jonas ended the relationship over a phone call lasting less than half a minute. Just 27 short seconds, but enough to shatter her heart, to let tears stream down her cheeks, and to make her feel a loneliness that anyone who has ever loved can understand. In that moment, everything familiar around her suddenly seemed faded, from a simple t-shirt to the smallest objects in her room, all reminders of the person who had walked away. But instead of collapsing, Taylor transformed her pain into music. She wrote Forever and Always, a song that is both a confession and the cry of an 18-year-old girl who had just lost love and had to face the eyes of the world. The song was recorded at the last minute, just hours before the Fearless album's final tracklist was set, yet it was precisely this urgency and honesty that created magic. Every melody, every lyric, overflowed with emotion, allowing listeners not only to understand Taylor's pain but also to see themselves in it. Forever and Always quickly became an anthem for broken hearts, sung by millions worldwide, cried to, and a source of strength drawn from her story. Fearless didn't just take Taylor to the top of country music, it opened a new path, music that is personal, authentic, and brave enough to share raw emotions with the world. A breakup lasting only 27 seconds, yet powerful enough to create a musical and emotional legacy that millions of hearts will never forget. Forever and Always isn't just an ordinary song. It is the cry, the pain, and the helplessness of an 18-year-old girl who had just lost her first love with Joe Jonas while standing under the scrutinizing eyes of millions of fans and the media. Every lyric carries raw emotion, from sadness and disappointment to the heartbreak of unreciprocated love. Exhausted, pressured, and emotionally overwhelmed, she turned her tears into art. The melody, the lyrics, and her voice transformed a personal heartbreak into a global symbol of broken hearts. Can you imagine it? A song born from tears, from pain and loss, yet it made history, helping Fearless win the Grammy for Album of the Year and turning Taylor Swift from a teenage girl into a global phenomenon. Her honesty and courage to express raw emotion touched millions, and Forever and Always remains an enduring anthem for broken hearts everywhere. Taylor Swift admitted that after her breakup with Joe Jonas, she saw his presence everywhere. From an old t-shirt to the pencil sharpener on her desk, to the tiniest objects she once ignored, everything reminded her of the person who had left. Every familiar detail became a wound, making it impossible to escape the emptiness, the heartbreak, and the deep loneliness. When we lose someone important, the world around us suddenly feels different. Places that once held laughter, memories, or a sense of safety suddenly feel hollow. Taylor transformed that feeling into music, turning ordinary objects into inspiration for emotionally charged songs like Forever and Always. Who among us hasn't felt that? Seeing reminders of a past love everywhere and wondering how to move past the pain? Taylor shows that even the smallest wounds can give rise to creative power and inspire millions of hearts. After her breakup with Joe Jonas, Taylor Swift almost completely stopped speaking to him. That silence, heavy and cold, hurt more than any angry words or blame could. She had to face the emptiness, the lingering emotions, and learn to stand strong alone under the gaze of millions of fans. But the 18-year-old girl spoke a line that left the entire room in stunned silence. One day, I will find someone truly right for me. And when I look at that person, I won't even remember the guy who broke up with me in 27 seconds. That statement wasn't just a promise to herself, it was proof of Taylor's extraordinary inner strength. Even with a broken heart, she knew how to look forward, to turn pain into hope, and to transform fleeting moments of loss into the power to write songs that touch millions of hearts. After her breakup with Joe Jonas, Taylor Swift almost completely stopped speaking to him. That silence, cold and heavy, felt like an invisible wall standing between her and the world. Each passing day, she had to face profound emptiness, pent-up emotions with nowhere to go, and a sense of loss that made the world around her feel distant and unfamiliar. Taylor had to learn to stand strong alone under the gaze of millions of fans, amid endless rumors and constant scrutiny from the media. She deeply felt the loneliness, the disappointment of unreciprocated love, and the pain of having to keep her emotions private while the whole world watched. But in that quiet, seemingly hopeless moment, the 18-year-old Taylor spoke a line that left the entire room in stunned silence, sending chills through anyone listening. "One day, I will find someone truly right for me. And when I look at that person, I won't even remember the guy who broke up with me in 27 seconds." Those words were not just a promise to herself, they were proof of the extraordinary inner strength of a young girl. Even with a broken heart, she knew how to look forward, find light in the darkness, and turn her pain into creative inspiration. That strength allowed Taylor to write songs that touched millions of hearts, transforming the wounds of her 18-year-old heart into music with global emotional impact. Can you imagine it? Losing someone so important that everything familiar around you suddenly becomes a wound. Yet from those very wounds, Taylor Swift found light, turned tears into lyrics, and transformed personal pain into a power that changed her career and the entire music industry. Amid the pain and loneliness following her breakup, The Ellen Show brought Taylor Swift a heartwarming surprise. Her longtime best friend Abigail from Nashville appeared on stage. The two embraced tightly, tears mixing with laughter, creating a moment that was both heartbreaking and full of joy. That moment not only soothed Taylor's pain but also reminded the audience that even when love falls apart, true friendship remains an unshakable support that nothing can replace. Seeing the two girls hugging, laughing, and crying together made everyone realize that the companionship of friends can sometimes mean more than a first love. And of course, the next surprise was even bigger, leaving Taylor and the audience overwhelmed with emotion, opening a new, magical chapter in her youthful story. Suddenly, The Ellen Show introduced a special guest that Taylor Swift never expected to meet in person, Justin Timberlake, her music idol. As he stepped onto the stage, his confident smile and gaze immediately sent the audience into a roaring applause. He started with a few light jokes, then confidently said a line that made everyone laugh and nod in agreement: "Women are much smarter than men." In that moment, Taylor couldn't hold back her tears. She stood frozen, overwhelmed with emotion. Her heart, previously wounded by past breakups, was suddenly soothed by the presence of the idol she had long admired. Every bit of pain, every pressure of being 18, seemed to melt away in his warm gaze and playful yet sincere words. You could never imagine how Taylor reacted, a mixture of surprise, deep emotion, and overflowing joy on her face, creating a moment that left the audience utterly unforgettable. Taylor called it the best day ever. A day in which she experienced every possible emotion, from the deep pain of a broken heart to the complete comfort of being embraced by her best friend Abigail. The two girls hugged, cried, and laughed together, creating a moment that was both fragile and powerful. Then, unexpectedly, her idol Justin Timberlake appeared on stage, someone Taylor had admired since her earliest days in music. His warm gaze, confident smile, and playful yet sincere words sent the audience into a roar of excitement, while Taylor was left speechless, overcome with emotion. The contrast between tears and laughter, between sorrow and joy, turned this moment into an unforgettable story in Taylor's career. Every hug, every glance, every laugh mingled with tears left an indelible mark on her and the audience, reminding everyone that youthful challenges and broken hearts can become a tremendous source of strength. From these very emotions, Taylor wrote songs that touched millions of hearts. From the pain, the heartbreak, and the loneliness of being 18, she transformed it all into music with extraordinary emotional power. The album Fearless was not only an artistic achievement but also proof of her ability to turn heartbreak into inspiration, showing that from a broken heart, history can be written. On that day, Taylor realized not only the value of friendship and support but also that even in the loneliest moments, she could find joy, strength, and motivation to move forward. It is a powerful lesson for audiences and fans alike. Sometimes, the darkest days become the brightest, opening the way to unimaginable achievements. More than a decade later, looking back, fans realize that it was the heartbreak at age 18, a breakup that lasted only 27 seconds with Joe Jonas, that became the catalyst for Taylor Swift's entire career. From tears and a broken heart, she wrote songs that reached millions of hearts around the world. The album Fearless was not just a turning point in Taylor's music, but also proof of resilience and the ability to turn pain into art. This album won prestigious Grammy Awards, and songs like Forever and Always, Love Story, and You Belong With Me resonated in studios, on stages, and in the hearts of millions of fans worldwide. The story of that 27-second breakup became legendary, a milestone fans still recall as evidence that sometimes, brief and painful moments can open up enormous opportunities and shape the future. Without those 27 seconds, would we have today's Taylor Swift, a global icon, an inspiration to millions of young women and men, and a living proof of turning heartbreak into power? The story of Taylor Swift reminds us that sometimes, the wounds that seem short-lived and insignificant are actually the starting points of an endless journey. A 27-second breakup, a broken heart at just 18 years old, yet from those tears, Taylor found the strength to create music that touched millions, becoming a global source of inspiration. Have you ever turned your pain into strength? It could be a failure, a loss, or a seemingly small moment in life, but those experiences are what shape us, making us stronger, more creative, and teaching us to truly appreciate the value of life. If you believe that Taylor Swift is a living proof of turning heartbreak into power, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications now, so you won't miss the inspiring stories and life-changing moments we'll bring in upcoming videos.